If you're just starting out and you haven't decided what niche or business you're going for, once you do pick that niche, the best thing that you can do is register that domain name as early as possible and put a piece of content up there on topic, because you want to let that domain name age. What I used to do when I operated in lots of different markets, at the start of the year, I'd plan out what I was going to do for the year. I'd go register all of those domain names. I'd get an article written from Need an Article, put it up on the page, and then just send some basic links to it. That way it gets indexed, it's aged, and it'll just make things easier later on down the track. When we start to build links, we don't have to worry so much about holding back the speed at which we're building links, because we've kind of had a chance to age that domain name. I'll go for .com, .net and .org. Those are those top-level sites that we talked about with Alan. I'll go for 1 to 3 keywords typically, and I'll avoid hyphens as well. You know, they just look spammy. There's been discussion as to whether or not having a hyphen in a domain name will affect how it will rank, and I think ages back it did matter, but I mean some of my domain names like trading-secrets-revealed.com is one of my domain names, and I registered that ages ago, and I probably didn't load enough keywords in there, but it does rank quite well for money management, which is the keyword we're going after, and it does have dashes in it. But from a branding point of view and how much easier it is, like when I'm standing up here and I say melbourneseoservices.com, it's much easier for you to type that in and go to the domain name than it is to say go to www.meta-formula, and that's a dash, not an underscore, and like having to clarify that. So where you can, avoid hyphens, 1 to 3 keywords, and you want to try and go for keyword rich. That's why I went for Melbourne SEO Services, because it has the keyword in the domain name. And part of the reason for that, and this is something I talked about in the old SEO method, is when we're building inbound links, a lot of links that you're going to build back to the website are going to have the URL as the anchor text for that link that we're building. If your domain name has the keyword in it, when you're building links for the URL, you're effectively building links back with the appropriate anchor text as well, because the keywords are in the domain name. So that might have gone over the head, but watch the videos and then that'll sink in a little bit deeper. The only exception is if it's a brand name. So Planet 13 is a brand name. We didn't go after bandmerch.com, although we did register official band merchandise, and we use that for some other purposes. But unless you're going for branding, and also like the client, the dentists, he already had that domain name and that's his business name, so it's okay to use it at that point in time. We can do a lot of things. We can still rank a page without having the keyword in it, but it just makes it a little bit easier. In reference to that as well, registering domain names, later on when we get into the section where we talk about the SEO method, we'll talk about how we actually structure this whole link building thing, and one of the components is building your own network of sites to help control the links that you're sending back to your website. It's a good idea early on in the year to register those domain names now. So if you've already got what your primary niche is, go ahead and register maybe 3 or 4 other domain names, and we can talk about what we can use them for later, but try and get keyword-rich domain names. Go for .com. I don't stress so much about the .com.au. I know I probably should, because now we're doing a lot more work with local business, and it does have a big impact with local business. Like we've just registered melbourne.com.au. In hindsight, I probably would have gone for the .com.au if I'd thought about it a little bit more, but because we're going after that local business, but it doesn't really bother me so much. Like, I mean, you can just overcome that with enough links. It's just like a little bit of an arm wrestle.